2 minutes after 9 on your Monday morning, and I'm so excited about this because it's an art that some have mastered, others still struggle with it. Negotiation. Now, our guests have literally written the book on how to win negotiations, and it's called Fight Less, Win More, and it's written by a 29-year law enforcement veteran and a negotiations trainer. I must say that they've got to know what they're talking about. Joining us this morning, Jonathan B. Smith and Derek Gaunt. It's great to have you gentlemen with us.
Oh,
Good
it's
morning.
great to be here.
Thanks, Brooks.
I'm excited about this because, you know what, I would say that I'm pretty good at negotiating. But that's not, y'all don't know how I really do. But I would say I'm pretty good at negotiating. But there really is an art here. And this is why it was important for you to put together a book like this. Kind of explain to us where that inspiration came from.
Well, the inspiration came from our partner, Chris Voss. He wrote a book called Never Split the Difference. And people kept asking us, well, the book is terrific, but how do I get better individually? They wanted to know how the skills actually worked. So we wrote, this is equivalent to a missing manual for that book.
And this is important for people because we do live in a time where I know you guys and y'all's form of negotiation may be different than maybe somebody who's negotiating a salary, but it is very similar if you really think about it.
The bottom line is where people struggle with negotiation is they fail to understand that you're in a negotiation almost every waking moment of your life. Anytime I want or I need is in your head or is in the head of your counterpart, you're in a negotiation.
And you all say that in this book that essentially everything is a negotiation. And my dad, I'll be honest, he used to say this to me growing up and I never understood it. Now as an adult, I do understand because you call a phone company, your bills, you can negotiate those. A lot of people don't even know that you can do that. But literally every single thing is a negotiation. Talk a little bit more about that.
Your kid, there's a mess on the floor that they created. You need them to clean up that mess. Before you make that ask, you have to demonstrate for that kid that you understand the impact that the ask is going to have on them. Once you do that, they may not still be happy that they're cleaning up the mess.
He's not.
but they're going to do it with less resistance. And they're going to say to themselves, he's taking my perspective into account. And child or adult, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be understood. The problem with the world is that nobody is demonstrating that.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that because as the father of an almost 3-year-old, I know what negotiating looks like with them, but I'll need you guys' help in just a little bit. If there was a key component to winning more, what would you say it'd be?
It's literally listening, and you have to make it about them. So if you can make your negotiation about them and not about you, and listen to their perspective and have them feel heard, that's the first part of actually making a good negotiation.
In you guys' time when you worked, in law enforcement and when you were training negotiators and whatnot, I've always wondered too, do people who you're negotiating with ask for some of those things that we see on the movies? Do they ask for a pizza and they want it this way and then they want this such and such amount of money or whatever that may be? Is that a real thing?
That is a substantive demands. Substantive demands do crop up, but everything that you've seen in Hollywood that pertains to hostage negotiation, ignore it. The only thing they got right was the equipment. We do use those phones. Other than that.
Good to know. All right, just had to clear that up. So I need you all to help me out a little bit because there are a lot of negotiation scenarios that people may be facing, that people may have to deal with. Some may be relatable to you, others may be just relatable to me, but let's walk through a few of them. Your child doesn't want to go to school in the morning. How do you handle that?
Well, we start by using a label. A label to us is, it seems like something scary happening at school. Or you're gonna tell them there's a reason they don't want to go to school, and you literally need to get them to understand that you understand their emotions at that time. So maybe they're afraid they have to take a test and they didn't study for the test. And that's really where it all starts. They have to feel heard from you first and foremost.
And getting out in front of it. There are reasons why the kid doesn't want to go to school. I know school is boring. I know school is challenging. I know there are people in school that get on your nerves. I'm going to have to lay those things out beforehand. That's my way of demonstrating I get what your perspective is. I know where you're coming from. And the minute that you show that, That coupled with curiosity is the minute that you get breakthroughs. And it doesn't matter if the kid is 3 or 83. The minute that I can diagnose what the lay of the land looks like from your perspective and articulate that for you, that's when defenses start coming down. Fight Less, Win More is about removing yourself as a threat in the conversation. That's it, period. And as long as you are not curious, as long as you are agenda focused in your direction, you're a threat to that other person.
So help me with this one, because if you have a toddler, I told you all, and a lot of people who watch have known me since when my wife was pregnant and whatnot, and have kind of seen, and I'm very open about my family and how we do things. My 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old, is at the point where he doesn't like bedtime, like most toddlers. How do you handle that? Because, you know, sometimes your patience can run thin when you got to be up that next morning to be on the news and whatnot. But you're like, I understand. And I probably was the same way growing up too, right?
I can't imagine. So, you know, again, it's about understanding them and having them feel heard and saying, you're probably going to feel lonely. You probably don't want to miss out on whatever's going on right now. So that's really what you want them to know, that you understand them. They feel heard. Again, to Derek's point, that's what the book is all about.
And the idea of the negotiating being anytime you want or need something, the other side feels that too, right?
Yes.
They know that at the end of the interaction with you, they're going to have less than something of what they have right now. If it's nothing more than time. And so that automatically makes you a threat. And the minute that you start removing yourself, you start to make them or have them drop their barriers, that's when meaningful dialogue takes place. Because as long as the negative emotions and dynamics are driving their behavior, they're not listening to you. They're not.
That's right. This is great perspective. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Cannot wait to check out this book, and I hope you'll do the same. The book is called Fight Less, Win More. It is out tomorrow, January 13th, and we've got a link for you to support and purchase this on the free Atlanta News First Stab. Jonathan and Derek, thanks again for being here.
Thanks, Brooks. Appreciate it.